Welcome to Human Services Stories, Management, Customer, and Staff Voices. I'm Clinton Lewis, and I'm glad you're here. Today's episode is about dignity, humility, and perspective. Every person deserves to be treated with dignity no matter what the situation that has brought them before you. That means speaking respectfully, responding thoughtfully, and remembering that every customer is a person first. Dignity matters because people are more open when they feel respected. They're more likely to engage when they feel valued, and they're more likely to move forward when they are not being treated like a number or a burden. In human services, dignity shows up in how we talk, how we listen, and how we handle difficult moments. It shows up when we explain things instead of talking down to someone. It shows up when we give people the space to ask questions. It shows up when we handle their concerns with care. Sometimes customers come to us after being dismissed, by others. Sometimes they have learned not to trust the systems. That is why dignity is not optional, it's part of the service itself. But dignity is not only something we give to others, it's also something we protect by staying humble ourselves. There's a phrase that speaks to that spirit. There, before the grace of God, I go. That is a reminder to never look at another person's struggle with arrogance. It is a reminder that life can change quickly, circumstances can shift, and none of us are as far from hardship as we might think. That kind of thinking keeps us grounded, it keeps us compassionate, and it helps us remember where we came from. Never forget where you came from. That does not mean living in the past. It means staying connected to the lessons that shape you. It means remembering the people who helped you, the struggles that taught you, and the moments that reminded you what really matters. When you remember where you came from, you are less likely to become cold, judgmental, or disconnected from the people you serve. Humility strengthens service. It makes us more patient. It makes us more willing to listen. It makes us careful about how we speak to people who may already be carrying shame, fear, or frustration. When we stay humble, we create space for trust. In human services, people notice humility. They notice when someone speaks with respect instead of superiority. They notice when someone listens without rushing. Just to prove a point. They notice when someone treats them like a human instead of being a problem to manage. And that matters because people do better when they feel safe. When people feel respected, they're more likely to believe that change is possible. They're more likely to participate. They're more likely to leave the interaction feeling stronger when they arrive. That is why dignity and humility work together so well. Dignity says, you matter. Humility says, I am no better than you. Together they create a healthy way to serve. Staying humble also helps us lead better. It keeps us teachable. It keeps us honest. And it keeps us open to feedback. It reminds us that no matter how much experience you have, there's always more to learn. A humble person does not act like they have all the answers. They understand that good service requires wisdom, patience, and a willingness to keep growing. They understand that people they serve are not beneath them. They're fellow human beings who deserve compassion and care. And when you stay humble, you stay thankful, you become more aware of your own progress was not built alone. Someone helped you, someone guided you, someone showed you a better way. Remembering the truth can soften the heart and strengthen character. Never forget where you came from. That lessons matter whether you're a customer, staff member, or a leader. It matters because you keep perspective clear. It reminds you that grace plays a role in everyday life. It reminds you that someone else's struggle could have been yours under different circumstances. It reminds you to treat people with the same dignity that you would hope to receive. When you carry that mindset into your work, you become more safer for others to approach. You become easier to trust. You become someone who can hold both standards and compassions at the same time. That is the kind of presence that strengthens outcomes. So as you move through your day, remember this. Treat people with dignity. Stay humble in your thinking. Never forget where you came from. And let gratitude shape the way you serve. When you do that, you create a better experience for the people around you and a better version of yourself in the process. Here's a coaching moment for this episode. I want you to ask yourself, how am I protecting a person's dignity in the way that I serve? Am I speaking with respect and clarity? And when can I make someone feel more valued? How does humility change the way I respond to others? And lastly, what part of my own story helps me stay grounded and compassionate? Now I want you to say this to yourself. I will put dignity first. I will stay humble, remember where I came from, and serve with respect, patience, and care. Here's a closing moment for this episode. Dignity is not a small thing. It shapes trust, connection, and outcomes. Treat people with dignity, and you strengthen the work. There, before the grace of God, I go. Never forget where you came from. Stay humble. Those truths help us serve with compassion, perspective, and grace. And remember, you got this.